Hello, SpeedGaming 3. Welcome to week 6 of the ALTTPR League. We are doing something a bit different that's never been done in League before. We are having door rando. You might have seen a couple of the races earlier today, but we'll go over the mode as it's happening. Anyway, we have two great racers here today, J-Joe and Armalex, and I am here with the teammate of one of them, namely IB Karma. How are you?
I'm doing great. Ready for some doors. I love doors.
Yeah, honestly, I had my qualms, but after seeing the first two races today, it's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, it's definitely a different mode. So, big things you're going to see from this is it is a standard start. Think of it kind of like Kaz Boots, but you're going to see something very different when we start getting into the castle.
And here we go. Ooh, mirror off the bat. So that removes one feature of doors, which is that you get a fake mirror to start, because you could theoretically get trapped in a room that you can't death warp out of. And we see regular crystals on Eastern and Hera, and a red pendant on Desert.
Yeah, so to give a little bit of backside on the mode, beginner doors is 7 crystals. Still have to kill Ganon, your normal goal. But the dungeons are shuffled in what's called partition. The entrances to the dungeons will all require the same items, as the lobbies are still part of their dungeon. So, like, if you go into Swamp, you still need flippers and to do the dam, etc., etc. But it's shuffled in kind of a group. So, like, everything in the light world is shuffled. So, like, here we go. We went from Hyrule Castle to Hyrule Castle, but you notice that's not the room you normally get to up the left side. That is the room you get to off the right side, though. But then
And you also
yep, go ahead.
And you also see some numbers here. Oh, we're already down. We don't have the big key, though, and item drops are shuffled, so the ball and chain guard may or may not have the big key. Okay, it's vanilla.
Yep, he has the big key. It's fine. We're all fine.
But
you hate finding that without it.
But you can see the fractions under the Rupian bomb and arrow counts. And the fraction on the left is how many items in the dungeon you've collected out of the total, and on the right it's how many small keys you've collected out of the total. So there are 9 items in this dungeon, of which 4 are small keys.
Yep, and 1's a big key. We do not worry about compasses and maps. Those are all given to you, hence why we have the numbers. Ooh, that's kind of nasty. We can't get through the sewers because it's key locked. We also found Hera basement, so that's fire locked for that item.
Yeah, Hera basement's been showing up in the castle a lot so far today.
Well, see, Jaijo's already found the throne room, whereas Arm has not. The throne room's somewhere off that right side. I think it's right side then up.
Yeah, and that's something that is guaranteed to be here. That Zelda's cell is guaranteed to be here, the throne room is guaranteed to be here, and you're guaranteed to exit at Sank.
Yeah. And you want to realize, like, which way the room. So, like, if you're looking for throne room, you want to be looking for up. Like, up doors. If you're looking for cathedral, you want to be looking for south exit. He's going to go check that other entrance real quick. Because it's big key. And we're rewarded with an item, which is the key. Ooh, so I would be tempted here to get the sewer items, since it was double small key locked for 3 chests.
Yeah, that's 3 items.
Neither one looks like it's going to do it, though.
Nope. Interesting.
You can just fall back in later if you find gloves like normal, and it will drop you in that same room. All drops still lead to the same rooms. But I guess to continue about the partition shuffle, all Light World dungeons are shuffled in between themselves. All non-Mitz dungeons, so that's Thieves Town, Pod, Swamp, and Skull are shuffled. and then all the Mitts dungeons are shuffled. So it's GT, TR, Mire, and Ice.
Right, so you might need the flip. The flippers might be hard required for dungeons in addition to Swamp, but only possibly Pod, Skull Woods, or Thieves Town.
Yeah. And Cane of Samaria can be required for any of the Mitts dungeons.
But Ice Rod is strictly only required for TR still. Also, Blind's Attic can be in any of those first 4 Dark World dungeons. If you go into the Thieves Town boss room without first bombing the attic, you will get a hint about where the attic is.
Looks like we're getting a vanilla into Sank here after going through Aga Tower.
And still one item we haven't found besides the 3 we know are in the back of, well, what I would call the back of Escape. And now J-Jo's going for those 3 items. Ooh, and it looks like Arm took a death.
Yeah, Arm died, which is fine.
And since this is a standard open, you of course get a free light cone.
Now, JJ did something really smart there. He mirrored from Sank without going out, which took him back to the entrance to the castle.
But having delivered Zelda to Sank, Zelda is considered rescued, yes.
Mm-hmm. So he'll still have a save and quits after he can save and quit and have both his locations.
Right, and it's not Rain State anymore.
And money.
Money's good. We like money.
If that leaves 1 fire-locked item and 1 unknown item? No, just 1 fire-locked item.
Yeah. Yeah, Hera Basement. To answer a question in chat, they started with Sword and Pseudo Boots. The mirror was in Link's house.
Yeah, so while they are able to run, they do not actually have boots. Arm decided to run backwards to it, which is also kind of fun. It wasn't that far. It actually looked like it was probably almost even, maybe like a room difference from which way you can.
Like bombs on Lumberjack?
Nope. You can bonk stuff, but you won't go very far bonking it. He's about to find out that the last item's fire locked.
Oh yeah, Arm hadn't been here yet, had he?
Nah, he never went up the stairs.
More money, so we are rolling in dough.
This mode is very chaotic, though, because the dungeon layouts can be so different.
Yeah, sometimes they're quite linear, sometimes they are all over the place. Ooh, nice tree pull for even more money.
Even more money, yeah. Crabs even more? Yep. I did not see what he got in the first chest.
That was Blue Mail.
Alright, so Blue Mail, some explosives, more explosives, second sword, and more explosives. Yeah, so running into dungeons early is kind of dangerous in this mode. Your Light World dungeons can be locked by bows, fire rods. Well, not fire source, not fire rods. Fire source, a bow, or lamp, essentially. So fire source.
And there's the ice rod in Blind Sut, so that's out of the way. One other thing is, compared to a regular standard or open seed, runners are much more likely to dip Castle Tower because they don't know how many chests there are. There could be items in Castle Tower.
Yep. Castle Tower in this mode is a lot more of a thing you have to think about, and when to do it is a big kind of thing that weighs on your mind. Well, we already have Ice Rod. That's good.
And with that Master Sword, that especially makes it something that weighs on your mind.
I think for it to get to Crisscross or Citador, we'd have to go to intermediate doors first. I think they'd have to step it up, but Crisscross Randomizer, let's just go all the way. So, Arm lost a little time in Castle. J-Joe's gotten through town a little bit faster.
Oh, there's a glove on the library, so we need the real boots for that.
Interesting. So one of our gloves is blocked by the real boots.
And there's book on race game, so there's our desert entrance.
Which is good, but again, diving dungeons early can be kind of scary.
Yeah, you can easily be fire source locked, but you might need to dive the front of desert to get the real boots to then get the glove.
True. But you're also giving it bow locked, which is another big thing from the Eastern rooms.
Right, because we don't know what dungeon those red Igor rooms are in.
Mm-hmm. So it's all things you have to weigh, what's worth a dip, what's not worth a dip. And we're going back to Castle?
Probably checking CT.
True, we do have Master Sword. This is an early Castle Tower play. It's definitely interesting. See if it pays off.
And Army's finding that book, realizing he probably doesn't want to save and quit.
So there's 7 items in CT, 2 of which are small keys, one of which is probably a big key. So you're looking at probably 4 items. And there's one.
Yeah, first item is junk.
Now I don't know if there has to be a big key, but dungeons that don't normally have a big key can have a big key in this mode, which is kind of funny. So we're going to get Circle Pot Guard as our second item, or as our second check.
And you might actually need the big key in something like Skull Woods or Swamp.
No, there doesn't have to be a big key, but you can have big keys in dungeons that don't normally have them. I think it's the way it works. I don't know. My brain never works the right way in these modes.
So, Arm's checking Saha's closet for Quake and junk. Wonder if we're going to get an Eastern dip.
We're going to get an Eastern dip, which is also interesting that neither one of them goes South Shore first.
Yeah, because we still have 5 items sitting in Mini Moldorm Cave and 2 in the dam and everything.
Yeah, usually you probably. My guess is they're trying to get something for for desert, but desert's also a pendant, so it's kind of like. It's just kind of odd.
Yeah. Well, Eastern has no keys, which is kind of interesting.
Which means at most you have a big key, so you're 4 items and a big key at most. And just because you see that big chest there doesn't mean that big chest is in this dungeon.
Right, which always messes with my mind.
We found Aga.
Yeah, that red square means you're in the room adjacent to the boss.
So no small key. He's going to back out. Also, probably doesn't want to kill Aga for bombs. Oh, but guess what? That room was in the dungeon.
Yeah, so there is a big key somewhere.
Oh, vanilla. Now, hilariously, he's got to blind check this in the dark. Because that staircase does not have a key door.
And that leads to another... This must
We're doing Aga?
The-
Was that not bombs then?
I don't know. I was trying to figure out where the heck Arm is because it says he's on the second floor, but he's in a dark room.
Oh, he's in Dark Maze backwards.
Oh, of Aga Tower, right.
Yep,
Because he just
he's in
pushed that
backwards.
block.
Yeah, you have to push that block to open the top door. Maybe he's assuming that this is going to be Dark World access. Arm is lost in this. This is a bad room.
You don't even have a Moon Pearl. And yeah, that. Doing Aga Dark Maze backwards without a lamp, even with a sword.
Finding your way to that item is horrendous.
Arm's also down to half a heart. Of course, this room is not in logic without a lamp.
He found the big key.
Okay, that gives us another item.
Now he's just got to go make it to the door, which is to the right. He's getting stuck in there. There's that little, like, L corridor he keeps getting stuck in.
And Jajo takes down Aga 1. We will be able to see what's on the pyramid and claim it if we want it. Just some blueberries.
Don't know where he's heading from here. Arm got out of the dark room to immediately die.
Ah, well.
Yeah,
I didn't even want to go back for the big chest.
I'd get a bell on it, because doing that Aga dark room already cost him a lot of time, and he needs to make up the time.
Yeah, so maybe now, finally, a South Shore play into Desert.
Wait. Oh, he's going to do Eastern with Mirror. Gotcha.
You know, Kiki won't follow you without the Moon Pearls, so...
Yeah, his plan here is just do Saha and Eastern.
And this way, in case he gets the Moon Pearl, he has the portal there to then do Pod.
Mm-hmm. Yep. The smart play. My gut's telling me that something's probably in Desert with the early book.
Yeah.
You hate going there without anything, but it's probably required.
Well, Arm's about to get 5 items.
There's Pearl.
So Jajo definitely isn't going... Oh, and the boots,
There's
okay.
our glove.
Right.
Now it's just where is the other piece of Dark World access, or was JJ right, and Dark World access is just the Aga Tower. Which for that, did he have a dark room? I wasn't even paying attention.
I don't think so, but yeah, it's hard to keep track with all these unexpected rooms.
We'll see how he navigates that backwards Aga Tower dark maze. He's going to be coming up on it shortly. Magic.
The chat's saying there was a dark sewer room in Aga Tower, though whether it was required is another question.
It seemed like the dungeon was fairly linear, at least what I was saying, so I would assume it was probably part of the path, which means that you need a lamp to get to Dark World that way. You have Moon Pearl. You could go do... He's going to choose not to do Hobo. You could do Hobo here. That was either 50 or another 300 on top of Hylia.
Yeah, I just saw something ending in a 0.
Waterfall, nothing. We logically do have Zora now, so... Because we have access logically to the glove. Jaijo also not having luck in Eastern.
Did he get the big... No, he didn't get the big key yet.
Yeah, I think he
Both runners. Oh
died.
no!
What?
Yeah, both runners had quite a time sink in there.
And there's our Dark World access. Not Aga.
Sorry, what was the Dark World access?
Hammer on Zora.
Oh. Oh, sorry, I was looking at the wrong screen. That's why I was confused.
Oh, to answer your question, Semper, they posted it, but yeah, it's a standard start 7/7 beat Ganon with some door shuffle. Your dungeons are just shuffled together. You can run into random rooms in the dungeons, but it's partitioned, so it's not like you can get TR in Eastern. It's your Light World dungeons, your non-Mitz dungeons, and then your Mitz dungeons are the three what they call partitions.
And that hammer, of course, was in logic because the game assumes you first get the glove out of library and then go to Zora the vanilla way.
So Jijo's getting just as lost in this dark maze.
He's persistent.
This dark maze is brutal in the dark. Like this maze is brutal backwards in the dark. Like, this would be one of those points where you pull up the map on another screen, like, off of the internet just to look at where you're going. Okay, did you get the big key?
We should also mention that this race is kind of important for both teams because the standings are really close in this division.
Yeah, we have 3 teams sitting at 6 and 4, one of which is us, and 5 and 5 right below us is Hook and Lamp.
So that was 5-6 in PR and Skull Woods, Green Pendant Swamp, Blue Pendant Mire.
So we are getting, there's Lamp, so now Eastern's in Logic.
And important things like Bugnet and Shield.
There's been nothing big in Eastern, though, so not a huge detriment to have to go back to it later.
Well, maybe the boss has something. Oh, nice strong strats.
Okay, I didn't know where we were going. We're going to K45. How do you think he's going to feel about the half magic being in Ice Ride Cave?
Yeah,
you could have a lot more magic for this.
And there's Tempered Sword, so no matter what, Arm is going to have a much easier Armos fight. With both more magic and a better sword.
Very possibly a bow by the time he gets back there, because now bow is even a bigger block because of pod. The pod rooms can be in any of the dungeons that he currently has access to. Now, the one thing Arms Route kind of did is Bombo's tablet is kind of isolated now.
Ooh, nice simultaneous kill by J-Jo. Didn't get an enraged Armos.
It's always nice when you don't have to redeal all the damage.
Yeah, we get a regular crystal, but a whole lot of junk otherwise. And digging up a shovel, that's kind of cyclical.
I wonder...
But I think Arm's got a check shovel right now.
I think you're supposed to mirror... Are you supposed to run back? I think you were supposed to mirror right there and go check it and just come back to Vu. And go into Vu through the portal. Now you're going to save and quit from here.
Yeah.
I guess either way you're saving and quitting. Oh, there's the bow.
Okay. Now Eastern becomes a thing. Hera's a thing. Death Mountain's a thing.
I actually like Pod Eastern too. He could just combo both.
And hope that Pod isn't like flippers locked.
Mm-hmm. I think I'm gonna do a Mountain though. He's gonna do Mountain for the density probably. Nope. Never mind. Making me a liar. Or not. Left side faster maybe?
Yeah, I've seen runners do the left side of that screen to get up to Mountain.
It's definitely better dash lines.
But yeah, huge item density up here and a crystal.
Well, we know Jaijo's about to get his boots and Moon Pearl. Now, he may just take his Aga portal and not get his hammer for a while.
Yeah, he's saving and quitting. Next gets dead rocked.
There was a small chance he could have dashed around it, but he would have had to dash to attempt it, and he just didn't. Which is also fine. I'm curious. He's going to go get his glove, and I'm curious if he's going to make a beeline. So he has a couple options. He can do Catfish with Zora, or he can just go Dark World and go to like Pod. There's Flippers.
On Spec Rock?
Yep,
Oh, yeah.
up.
Okay.
This is a lot of important stuff coming up fast. We might not necessarily need Flute.
Yeah, so the only thing that could lock us from Thieves Pod or Swamp is the hook shot. I mean,
Yes.
You still need the hook shot for Argus, but the screen that you have to hook shot across in Swamp could be in any of those dungeons.
Correct. So right now, like, if you find very rapidly, if you find on the mountain, like, you're looking for 4 items right now, essentially. You're looking for mitts, cane, fire rod, and hook. If you find a combination of those, you're going to be rushing things.
Yeah, this could open up in a hurry. And so far, we're just finding small keys in Hera.
Well, there is 4. We know there's a big key because we saw a big chest.
And one thing to keep in mind in Hera, as you mentioned, all drops are vanilla. So all drops in Hera are vanilla.
Yes. There's been seeds where, in order, like, I've seen a seed where the two front, the left and right staircases link to each other. And then you have to go down the back staircase, which immediately goes to Moldorm's Arena. And then to get the rest of the items, you have to go back down the staircase to Moldorm's Arena and drop.
Right, chat pointing out the Hera big chest has to be in
Has to
Hera
be there.
because
Yeah, because the
if you
drops.
drop down the middle hole from Moldorm, yeah.
That is very true. There could be a second one, though.
True. Now, this is a double item room because of the key drop shuffle. And we do get the big key there.
So we've got 3 items left, one of which is a small key. So we have 2 items left. We know where the big chest is. And we know one's on Moldorm. So we've got 1 unaccounted for item. Which, have we gotten lobby yet?
Yeah, we got lobby right off the bat.
Okay. Watch is going to loop him right back to lobby. Nope. Up to the top. Oh, vanilla way to get to Moldorm. Is this game
He's
moving
not checking the
random,
big chest before Moldorm.
No, it was like 1 or 2 screens off the front. You just do it after.
Ooh, flirting with the edge there. There we go.
This is vanilla lobbies, yes. You don't get lobby shuffle until intermediate. Okay, so both items remaining are both items.
And Jaijo's going through a lot of dark rooms and desert. Like, he needs something big here to catch up, otherwise Arm has quite a lead.
Yeah, Arm went from being behind to a lead with the Aga play, and then finding, with Jaijo going Aga, and then Arm doing, finding that hammer so fast.
And Arm also has lamp, so he doesn't have to worry about any of these crazy dark rooms anymore. Ooh, powder.
Do you check for the last item? You probably do a little bit, depending on which staircase you've been down. Oh, it's just right here. It's off the guard, the bow and arrow guard.
And it's junk.
And we have land mill.
JoJo, unfortunately, doesn't have the timing down for the ice rod. It's a lot slower than the fire rod, so it's kind of tricky because runners are used to using the fire rod.
Yeah, they also just completely went, like, the first one went left, the second one went straight to the right short hop.
Did Arm not check Ether Tablet?
No, he did before he went in.
Oh, okay.
And he checked Floating Island right then, too. Floating Island was, I think, $20. So we've got Paradox coming up, and then we are probably going to either Vu or Pod. I could see going Pod Eastern with this loadout. Because it's unlikely you get locked out. The only room that can technically lock you out is the hook shot from Swamp. Because even if you find the skull torches, you can do it with lamp.
And JoJo going back into desert, we have 5 checks left, but 3 of them are going to be small keys. Here's the big chest. Maybe it's not a small key.
Well, nothing in Paradox.
Second
nothing
bottle.
In that big chest. Looks like he's deciding to go Vu, which is also fine.
And that's all the items in desert accounted for, so that was just a whole lot of junk.
Now again, is Jijo going Dark World, or is he... Yeah, he's going to go Dark World through Zaga Portal.
Could be a while before he gets that hammer then.
It depends if he goes Pot or Catfish. If he goes Catfish, he'll mirror. If he goes Pod, then it could be a bit.
True, and he doesn't have hook shot, so he can't go around the top.
Oh, we're going
okay. He'll be bailed out then.
Apparently, Ether was our first bottle. According to chat.
Yeah. Yeah, because the second bottle was in Paradox.
I don't hate this. You don't have to have Fire Rod to clear this dungeon out.
You still do to get to the back.
No, not necessarily.
Oh, the boss could be in the front?
Could be, or you can fall into one of the holes, and or one of these doors could lead you through the hallway that's normally the back, and you just exit that way.
Oh, I thought the exit doors all had to be vanilla.
They are, but they don't connect interiorly vanilla.
I see what you're saying. If that's connected, I got it.
Yes.
This can really mess with your mind.
Yes. And for some reason, if this isn't a small key, he has to go find a small key. But he knows where the boss is at now.
Yeah, because...
And actually, it's really fast to get to from Pinball Drop.
Wow. Yeah, drops are vanilla, so Moth has to be here.
Yeah, so like one time I had you go in the door he went in, you go left, and then it's one of the down doors, and it takes you to the back entrance hallway, the one with the bridge. So you can exit from there. And it still exits to the same door, it's just you don't have to burn to get into that room.
Yeah.
In all occasions. So like he's seen like one thing I'd be keeping track of in my head right now is I've seen Pinball. But I have not seen the other two, which we can drop left in the hole and we can get to at least one of them, because the left drop will still take you outside of, I call it Swiss cheese, the one with all the holes that open up.
Right, the compass room.
Mm-hmm. And that will always be connected still.
And this chest is the vanilla big key chest will always be in its vanilla position because it's on the same super tile as the entrance to middle.
Yep, super tiles with the big key.
So we can get the big chest. 2 out of the 4 remaining items are small keys. We can check under this pot.
There's one of them. Okay, so middle is dead now because middle just leads you. It's just literally vanilla or vanilla-ish. I think it was straight vanilla.
So that early book was completely useless unless there's something on ped. Even if Ether was logically our first bottle, we were also able to get a bottle out of Paradox.
Well, that's all the small keys. There's only 2 items left. Okay, so I would drop down the left here because your 2 items are, he's not going to, but your 2 items are the compass and pot prison.
Oh, right. Yes, so you can get there by dropping down the left.
Well, yeah, you can get no. Sorry. Pot prison's not going to be in there. It's going to be Swiss cheese, the compass, and it's going to be bridge, under the bridge.
Oh, right, because pot prison must be in a different dungeon, and as you said, the bridge super tile has to be lined up with the entrance to the back of Skullwoods.
Yeah, so I definitely would have dropped in the left there.
Now, chat's saying he has been to Compass Chest.
Oh, did he? Okay. If he's seen it, then it makes sense, because then none of the drop downs helped him. And that means the last 2 items are fire locked. And would probably be prop prison and bridge then. Okay, gotcha. Sorry, a lot to watch, a lot to keep up with, because watching both sides, seeing if Jijo's slowly getting stuff that Arm has already gotten, but to see if he does anything different.
Yeah, he's gonna wish he had the bow sooner.
I get to play this mess on Thursday.
So Arm is doing Village.
Yeah, I like it.
Pod and the remainder of Eastern would be a denser play.
It is, but you at minimum do your free checks here.
True.
Whether you do Thieves Town is the question mark. There's a potential you can beat Thieves Town if the attic is there. There's also a potential you could not beat it.
For all we know, the attic's in Swamp.
Mm-hmm. The good news though is if you want to, like, let's say you go in there and it's a really fast like maiden and boss room, you can just take the maiden and she'll tell you what dungeon her room's in. For anybody who doesn't know that, if you take maiden to the boss room without opening the ceiling, she will tell you blank is too bright for my eyes, which will just be insert whatever dungeon the room's in.
Okay, Magic Bat check, nice. We haven't seen this one yet either. Really getting through our fetch quests.
Yeah, like we're still catching up a lot here. Like we're still looking for like 3 or 4 big items. Like we have to have mitts. We have to have fire rod.
We almost certainly need Samaria.
There's a chance actually that we don't need Samaria or Hook. It's not a big chance.
Right.
But a chance.
And Jijo discovers the flippers.
Yeah, you have to hover the TR entryway, which depends on how good they feel about their hovers today. I know Arm can hover. That's a really long hover, though.
Yeah.
Well, need Samaria, quote, unquote.
Right, if you can do that really long hover and there are no other Samaria requirements in TR.
Well, the boss room is literally off lobby. And there it is.
Well, at least we know where to take Blindette to.
Hey, about a percent.
100%.
So this super tile is actually kind of big because it's like that room, this room, and the left room are all a super tile. Ooh.
So diver down chests.
Yeah, having flippers, we can actually escape.
That was weird.
It's because it kind of thinks you're like in a kind of weird like diver down state. So if you don't have flippers, you can't actually escape. But if you try to escape with flippers, then it puts you into that like swimming state. I guess that's layers. I'm not a glitch person. Somebody who's into glitches can probably explain it. At least it feels the wrong waterfall.
Yeah. Arm's kind of doing laps in here. I mean, he could grab Blindette, or is that not the right super tile?
Blind requires a small key, but also requires the big key, which he hasn't found yet.
Oh, right. For all the small keys, we don't have the big key yet.
Yeah, which is probably right here. Yep.
Figures.
Now I would go back and maybe grab her, her, blind.
And we have all the small keys, so we don't need to worry about how many doors we're unlocking.
So one item's in the maiden cell, one item is on blind, there's one remaining.
Yeah, I'm surprised we didn't take the other exit from Dark Maze just to see.
He just did.
Oh.
It just came out on that room. Now the important part to remember here is that he's going to take blind to the cell because there is an item remaining that's unknown. That means Attic could still be in here. It could be up one of the other staircases.
Oh, right. Arm has to diver down to get through this room because we don't even know where the switch to drain the water is.
It could be a loop in the other room. He's gonna go check it.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Well, that room's always attached, but you don't know what staircase. Oh, and here's the last item. Cool. Well, we know Attic's not here. So once he gets this, he can actually mirror to the front and go take blind to the room. That way we know where we need to go for the floor.
We know we can open Meyer and TR once we get to their entrances. Pod, okay.
So now we're probably going to see the beeline rush to Pod in Eastern.
And
we
that
have to
is
do Pod
Jajo's... Jajo's second crystal, so we're actually even on the crystal count right now.
Are we doing?
I know there are different schools of thought for what's faster.
Oh, okay. He's doing Hobo.
I guess he wanted to check Hobo en route. Makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, Arm's ahead in checks right now by quite a bit.
Yeah. I was more just remarking that it's interesting considering how far ahead in checks Arm is that the runners are even on the crystal count.
Yeah. Like, Arm's check count right now, like, Jijo has a lot of holes in the route, which kind of hurts a little bit.
Right, and barring a hookshot block and Pod, Arm has 3 more crystals in his sight, Eastern, Pod, and Thieves.
Yep. And we're hoping to find our mitts in here, that way we don't have to go digging around another dungeon for them.
Of course, can't beat TR without Fire Rod, so we'll need that. As discussed, we almost certainly need Samaria.
There's just a small chance that you can get through the seed without Samaria or Hookshot. If you can hover at the entrance to TR. Okay, he's going back in for his vengeance on Eastern first.
With a lamp.
With a lamp.
Jeju about to learn that there's really nothing of interest in Paradox.
There's like a heart container and a bottle.
Okay, there's nothing of major interest.
Yeah, true. Jejo's definitely making some skips though, because like Ice Rod Cave with half magic is probably dead forever. Yeah, like you're doing this now, and you're just like, why couldn't I do this in the dark? It's not that bad. Oh yeah, last two items were right next to each other. It's this
Right,
and the
because,
boss.
yeah. You know there's an item here, and you know the boss is next door.
Which was $20 and a single arrow. Ooh, we're getting to check out a Jejo that we haven't seen yet.
Interesting choice to do this before Hera. Oh no,
he
he
already
did
did Hera.
Yeah, sorry.
This is his last thing.
Right, he did Hera before going east side.
Has a fairy. Has a fairy and a red potion, so we were definitely making it. This is one of the
Fairy
items
alone
that's
should
could be
enough.
huge. Like I'm watching like crazy because if this one of the items, okay, that could have been real huge.
Just like if there had been anything in Desert, it would have been huge.
Mm-hmm. There's none of his gambles have paid off yet.
And ARM has largely been beelining to progression.
Well, JJ doing this means JJ's probably not going to have to do a double dip of thieves. He goes to pod first and finds attic.
As long as he finds the attic. Well, the attic has an item, so as long as you're counting items, you'll find the attic.
This is a big dungeon. Oh, we are hookshot. Hookshot's at least an item in that room. Well, that's vanilla.
Yeah, for all we know, Helma King and Blind's attic are behind the hookshot.
There's also that item on the right.
Yeah. Yeah, that pop that's just come on the screen.
Ooh, everybody's favorite, Thieves Town lobbies.
There's the switch we need to hit to get the vanilla swamp big key chest. Ooh, and there's Samaria. Okay. Don't need to worry about that anymore.
And now we don't need to worry about hookshot except for one item.
Also true. Nice when you can circle around and hit it from the other side.
This is in logic, by the way. It's gross, but in logic.
Right, because bonking is in logic.
So one of these two up doors is the boss. Not that one. And we do not have a small key. There's still a lot more items in this dungeon, though.
Yeah. Including one in Thieves' Attic. So we're definitely going to need to come back in here.
I will say, Helma is probably one of my least favorite boss fights in this mode.
Why is that?
Open doors. Especially if you have a bomb door leading into his room. If you get anywhere near it, it just sucks you back out the room and you have to start the fight over.
Oh. Oh, I didn't know about the open doors thing. But yes, I see that it's open.
Yeah, his fight particularly is horrendous because he bounces you back when you hit him. So if you hit him as he's pushing you back, he can just shove you right out the door. He's kind of like a sumo wrestler in that aspect, where he's just shoving you out of the arena. Yeah, so looking for Thieves' Attic, we're going to be looking for a lot of right doors. So, like, he's going over here because it's a right door. We know there's an item. We do not have Big Key. We know there's an item locked behind the right door that is at right side pod. That's two items we know about. One's big key locked, one's small key locked. He's also got this left door to check, and he's got that other top door to check. And then whatever. And we also know there's two items in Swamp Lobby that we can't get.
And we're kind of short on keys in all this. Oh, okay. Here's a small key.
And from here, you're probably checking. I think we haven't checked the right one yet. We haven't checked the small path.
He's keeping track in Thieves' Lobby of what you have and haven't checked is really tough.
Yeah, so now I think you're taking the small key and checking the. No, he's going that way. Okay, I figured he would have went to right side pod from there. But I think he's just trying to eliminate all the stuff from this room. What did he miss down? Oh, he's taking the key.
Oh, yeah, he wants to unlock this door up here.
Yeah, okay, that's another item. I think we know where almost all the items are, except for Thieves' Attic.
And we kind of need the big key somewhere. Maybe here?
We've got the big chest. We've got the hook shot pot. We've got that right side pod left door. Attic's probably right here, because it's the right door. Yeah, here it is. Who are keys? You're probably supposed to flood the room and swim over. Sucks, but... We still haven't seen the top left door out of pod lobby. Like the pod main lobby.
We haven't?
I don't think, because he went right to the boss. Both of them went right to the boss door. Nobody went to the left one first.
Okay, there's another item. We're still missing two smalls, the big.
So the way you think about this is the hookshot pot's probably got a small key at this point. Probably.
Could have the big.
It could have the big too, yes. Which locks an item for you. I think we gotta get that top left door in pod lobby though. Which I think is where he's headed. Or not?
Oh, by lobby you mean arena. That's why I was confused.
Yeah. Like the big, I always call it pod lobby because it's got so many entrances off of it. He doesn't remember which doors he's been through at this point.
Oh, I thought by lobby you meant the literal entrance room.
No. Sorry. Yeah. The one where the boss was. The room where the boss was, right. They haven't been out top right.
Yeah, right, because he went top left and that immediately took him to the boss.
And I think he's forgot which entrances he's not been in yet so far.
I mean, this is an easy dungeon to get lost in with this layout.
They're both going to the same door.
Only the switch is on the wrong
And
setting.
Jijo is going to the door we needed to see. Or wait. Oh, that was the boss door. What's in the other door then? Oh, yeah.
I guess we did go through that.
Well, we haven't been over here, no.
No.
So, arm abandoned. So, if this is something, there's the big key. He's now got big chest, and he has to hope big chest is a small key. Otherwise, I think the rest of everything is...
Or else the big chest is, you know, the important item that he's looking for. Like if big chest is fire rod.
Oh, Arm's about to give some more time back. He's going to Aga Tower.
But you were right, it was a small key.
Well, if it wasn't a small key, what I was going to say is he could be locked. Like, he could be hookshot locked. Oh, Arm has a... Oh, he could do that. That's interesting.
What?
The item we left in Hyrule Castle a long time ago.
Oh, yeah, Hyrule Basement when we didn't have a fire source.
Okay, so Arm not burned yet. One of our 3 items. One is a key that we've seen. One is... Has he seen Attic yet?
I don't think so.
So one's Attic and one's the hookshot pot. So the only thing we don't know at this point is hookshot pot. So whatever this last item is, it's hookshot locked. Well, he didn't... I don't think he hookshot... I don't know. Because I don't think it's a small key. Well, Jijo's belling now. So now we'll never know. I don't remember how many keys Arm had. Okay, so Jijo did find Attic. So Jijo's going to be Thieves down here. Probably Thieves and Skull.
I'm surprised Arm didn't just go back to beat Thieves.
Well, he's got that, but his biggest density actually is to just go to Swamp. Go Swamp, Bombo's Tablet, into Desert.
I mean, I guess really what we're hunting for at the moment is the mitts.
Yes. The mitts is the kind of... the mitts and the fire rod are the 2 locks left.
Right, but thanks to Bombos, we can get into ice without the fire rod.
Now, there's a chance Arm beats this too, but because he hasn't checked Lumberjack. That I know of. Maybe he did. I don't remember.
Yeah, he did. I remember both runners did.
Okay, if he's checked it, then he should get the item in, last item in Bell. Which is right here. He should just Bell. Yeah.
Yep.
Going to Catfish. So we're still saying no to that Firelocked item in Hyrule Castle.
We never turned in Mushroom. I don't think either runner has.
Yeah.
Well, Jijo hasn't even gotten the Mushroom.
It's in one of these 2 dungeons he's in.
That's junk.
I'm just interested where this next priest progression is going to be. It could be on blind. So where are you going, Arm? This is a good question. I think you have to go swamp.
Unless you want to be blind.
Yeah, it's one item versus a truckload. Potentially. It might. I mean, it might be like a 3-item swamp.
But you have to be blind sooner or later.
Yes. But he's just playing item counts right now. Like here, he's got Bombo's tablet, swamp, and desert that he hasn't touched. And Agina. So playing with Arm for however long I played with him, he's all about trying to be efficient. That's why he loves cross keys.
Meanwhile, here's J-Jo next to the maiden cell.
I don't think he's gotten big key yet out of Pod Maze.
Oh yeah, it was kind of deep. Oh, Swamp has a lot of items, but half of them are keys.
6 or 7. Unsure.
And warp tiles are always vanilla, right?
Yes. Warp tiles will always lead to the warp room they're supposed to lead to. So if you find like GT outside of rando room, those warp tiles will always go to where they're supposed to. And I think the room with the what do they call it, petting zoo, that does not have to be in the dungeon. That even though you warp into that room via the warp tile. There's Mitz.
Okay, so I guess we did need to go to Swamp.
Yeah, that's pretty big. So Mitz gives us... We can do ice now. There's no way we can be locked out of ice because we found the hookshot lock. Ice is such a scary dungeon, though, because ice is where... So for anybody who's not played this mode before...
There is a way we can get locked in ice, because if the fire rod locked room in TR is in ice and is required to traverse, then that could block us.
Okay. Yeah, the right side room. Yeah, I forgot about that one. That's fair. It's gonna be interesting to see what he chooses, though. Autopilot. Autopilot engaged.
And
Still not taking that portal.
Yeah, once again, even in the crystal count at 4, but you can see that Arm's done 10 more checks than J-Jo. And has the mitts, more importantly.
Well, that just means J-Jo's closing the check count. Arm's giving back a lot of time. Double Thieves Lobby here. I'm surprised our third knucklehead on the teammate in chat just piping up every now and then. Unless he was supposedly possibly traveling, so he just might be indisposed. Figured he'd still be watching though.
Well, maybe if he's physically on a plane or something. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like Arm should have counted his blessings with the mitts and just left.
Like, it's a risk, right? Like, right now you're realistically potentially Fire Rod from go. Like, how much do you want to risk on where Fire Rod's at?
You're almost bonked into that Wallmaster.
He got saved by the Gibdo.
And we're right back in Thieves' Lobby.
Yeah, when you have two thieves lobbies in the same dungeon, you tend to go back a lot.
JJ doing Graveyard Legend King's Tomb, which I believe
Arm
was
is done.
nothing. I mean, Arm has done. I believe it was truly garbage.
Yeah. Okay, we got another item here. What's we got? Nope, bombs.
Yeah, so there are 4 items left, one of which is on the boss, and we can't do that without the hook shot. And 2 of which are small keys.
So at this point, you probably should be weighing belling. You should be probably belling and going ice soon. I think
he really wants to find that last item that he can get.
I don't know. I feel like I would have belled and went to ice.
Okay, item in here. No? Did he already get the item under the pot in here?
That was Mitts.
Oh, that's right. That's where Mitts was.
That's technically a thing you can do. He decides that's enough. He's not going to do it.
Yeah,
we're going to go beat thieves before we go to ice, I guess. Okay. You gotta do it at some point. I guess it's not horrendous. But if you're doing this, then you're doing Smith Chain with it. I think I would have rather did ice first. It's really bad. So what I was talking about with Scary Ice is when you get to the Mitts dungeons, they can be so convoluted because of the mixture of rooms that can be in them, that it's just bad. If you can hit go mode before going into the Mitts dungeons, it's ideal. Because Mitts dungeons, like, we've been seeing, what, 3 keys, 5 keys, even up to 6 keys, right? Mitts dungeon, you'll start seeing letters.
Yeah, the game allows up to... The door branch devs allow up to 11 small keys in a dungeon, and 10 and 11 are written as A and B.
So, given that many keys, you can realize how nasty some of those dungeons can be. What's nice is literally to beat this, all you have to do is grab Maiden and Mirror. So it's not a long dive. I'm just surprised that he did this before Ice. But again...
Well, Smith Chain is going to be 4 items for him.
They've already done powder.
Yeah, I was counting hammer pegs and bombos. I mean, we know from JJ that bombos is nothing, but Arm hasn't done it yet.
JJ's in almost the exact same route and skull that Arm did.
Yep, and once again tied on the crystal count at 5, so... Really, Arm's advantage at the moment is he's been into Swamp and gotten the mitts.
Mm-hmm. Which, to be fair, JJ's going to be kind of pigeonholed into that. Mitts locks too much. This mode is definitely confusing if you've never seen doors before. Just think of it kind of like entrance. I mean, it's a good way to think about it. It's just a little bit of complexity thrown onto a standard or an open. The biggest thing is it messes with people's muscle memory in dungeons.
Yeah, especially when you have to traverse rooms backwards, like we saw with the Aga Dark Maze.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, we still have Hera Basement in Escape that no one's been to.
There's definitely some worse things that you could do combat, like... Yes, Mandium, that's why you hate it so much. It's definitely got a little bit of extra complexity. You could, to be fair, combat, you could throw a bunch of other stuff on top of this. There's a mode in ladder right now called Crisscross, which is entrance with full door shuffle.
That was because first ladder had beginner doors, then it had intermediate doors, and now it's up to Crisscross.
So Crisscross League? Awesome. I might actually play entrance.
Okay, so Smith's Chain is a whole lot of garbage.
Insanity entrance is one of those modes. I like crazy modes. Insanity is one of those ones I draw the line.
I've seen some pretty crazy Insanity entrance seeds.
I just don't know how to track it, period. I don't have the brain power to track it. I'm old. I think you're supposed to go ice before desert, but we'll see what he does. This is so iffy. Like, you're supposed to save him quick and go ice, but we'll see if he goes... Desert's the smaller dungeon. He's gonna go desert. So he's gonna give the rest of the time back to JoJo.
Yeah, I don't know why you wouldn't do a Crystal Dungeon at this point. I mean, I know you said that those ones tend to be a bit crazier. Or maybe you'll just scout the ledge.
They can be horrendous. Like, both Ice and Mire tend to be two of the worst dungeons.
But it's a crystal and you can almost certainly clear it.
Yes. He hasn't done waterfall and stuff yet. He's doing a lot of cleanup.
Oh, right, because he didn't have flippers and he was coming from Catfish, so he just went to Zora and got his hammer before.
Mm-hmm.
Arm gets to watch the lovely cutscene.
No, actually, GF. Well, yes, Fire Rod, yes. Sorry.
And
Hook
maybe
is
Hook
potentially
Shot.
not needed.
But yes, no matter how you slice it, you're not beating Trinix without the Fire Rod.
I mean, Jaijo's on his way to his mitts. Like, we'll see how bad Ice is. I think Arm will get there first, still. Unless Jaijo decide, yeah, Mitts is in Swamp. It's in the Thief's Town hallway pot leading up to the boss room.
We'll see how long Jaijo spends in Swamp. Because Arm spent a long time there.
Just because it's you, GFE, our favorite week is next week. Yeah, but also our favorite. Yeah. Allison had to child. It's still my profile picture in Discord. You don't have to pull it out. I still have it.
I'm looking at your Discord profile picture. I can't tell what it is.
It's Chad Kroger from Nickelback holding up a photograph, and the photograph is me killing the red beetle in Randomizer co-op finals with 17 bushes. Okay, we're going to ice, and so is Jijo, so this race is going to be a lot closer now. I did not know the number of bushes it took, Jeffy, to be fair. But now, just to raise Zaf's blood pressure, I've told him that I've got to up it this year, so if there's a high Nox, I've got to do 32 bush high Nox. I missed one. That's why it was 17.
Okay, so we can see that ice is very much Samaria locked.
Now, I will very much not cause Zaf to have a stroke playing. All memes aside.
But yeah, Jejo and I are briefly in the same room.
Yeah, this got a lot closer with all the pendant dips and Nagatower dips. We've got a pretty
and the sheer
even
amount
rate.
of time Arm spent in Swamp.
Oh, did Jejo bail at mitts?
Yeah. That's how it got so close.
So the game expects you to have hook shot for this item, I think.
Yeah, I mean, bomb jumps aren't in logic. This dungeon's been pretty linear, so... Well, no, we had TR lobby room. The runners just chose to go this way.
That's interesting. That makes me think hook shot's in this dungeon. I'm beginning to think hookshot might be in this dungeon. What do you think, Drowsy?
Sure feels like it. There's a lot of stuff behind it. You do have powder. I don't know why you wouldn't.
And he's on one heart. What?
So we have divergence too. Jejo is going a different way. Finds a big key door. But we wind up in the same room just from the other side. Loading up on small keys and behind Ice Armos. Now Jejo passed that up, so that could make a difference if he runs out of small keys and Arm has small keys.
I would have been very tempted there to open that key door for the fairies.
You mean you don't like doing chain chomps on one heart?
No. Please heal him. Thank
there
God.
You go. All it took was getting a piece of heart for a full refill. So we've gotten almost all of the items now.
And one of them, I'm pretty sure, has to be hookshot, and it has to be from the right in this TR lobby somewhere. Well, he can't get through that door, so we can get through this door.
Right, now, Arm can get through that door. Those 3 small keys could make a difference.
Ew.
Where the heck is Fire Rod? Probably in TR at this point.
Yeah, I mean, we're running out of locations very rapidly.
Unless it's in Hera Basement, and it's just been one big joke of the rule of fire this whole time.
That's true, or it could just be Hookshot there. He's gonna check this entrance now instead of the key entrance. And he's gonna get locked into this horrible direction. Managed it well, though. Well, it looks like it's definitely through that key door on the right side of the or the TR lobby. Like everything else is through that door.
Yeah, so JJ will actually get through there first.
Mm-hmm. Now the question is, what's through the door? Nope.
This is what's through the door.
Okay, so where haven't we been?
Have we been southwest yet? Like where JJ's going now, and Arm's also
Both
going
of them
now?
are going. This is the first
Well,
way
we have
went.
been here, so...
There must have been another direction through here, though.
And I just realized Arm never did GT map test.
Mm-mm.
So that's one of his 2 remaining items, and the other's Cold Stare.
Yeah, we know Cold Stare's through a south room. So you know what this means, Drosy?
What?
I'm like 99% sure that Hook is either... Well, it could be in TR, but it's either in TR or it's in the Hera basement.
It's gonna be so funny if it's Hera basement for all that.
I think between both runners, we've checked everything else. I think we gotta go through the south door here. I think that's the way that Arm needs to go. I think whatever... No, south door was the loop from somewhere. Jijo went there.
Yeah, Jijo came into this room from the south.
But where's Cold Stare?
I don't know. We've been going around in circles. We have seen literally every item in the dungeon besides the one that's on Cold Stare.
And this is why I said this dungeon sucks. Oh, it's south right here.
Oh, right. Jijo didn't have the big key when he went in there.
Yeah, it's right there. Like, this is going to lead to boss. Yep.
Right.
Backwards TR boss. Dude, could you imagine him coming in here with no hookshot or no Samaria? Jesus. Literally all of TR is here.
You wouldn't have gotten very far.
Or if you can hover, you would be very tired. And brave.
So Jijo now has the big key, so he saw that door. He needs to get back to it.
I think hookshot can be on Cold Stare, technically. Because I think bonking down is in logic.
I forget where the big key was. Oh, right. We could have just counted keys to know that Cold Stare had to have the last small key.
That's true. We could have just looked at it was at 5 or 6. Yeah, that seems like it wasn't hookshot locked. So... Oh, no, it's behind Stalfos room. Okay, it was hookshot locked. Cool. So hookshot was accessible somewhere. You know what this is going to be, Drosy? I'm going to curse both our runners here. It's going to be hookshot and Hera basement for Fire Rod on Argus. Drossy's too stunned to even respond to that one. Well, I definitely agree with the play of just rushing TR. It's your biggest density. You've got a couple one-offs and TR with an unknown amount of items. I'm ready for Flute and TR.
Or Dark Death Mountain. We still haven't seen the
Oh, we got Super Bunny in the monk chest.
yeah.
And again, Arm can hover, so he's probably just going to hover the entirety of hook shot.
Why not? Because the Fire Rod's locked behind the hook shot.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't do that.
And J-Jo's finally found his way to Cold Stare.
So J-Jo's roughly like a dungeon behind. Like a half dungeon. Not very much.
There's Cape, but we know Bumper Ledge was nothing.
Piece of heart. I don't remember if we ever saw the swamp, big room, big chest or not.
I don't think anyone ever opened it. Oh! Hookshot and Hookshot Cave, what do you know?
Well, that's nasty because you're looking for Fire Rod and now it can be literal anywhere. Arm, where are you going?
Does he really want to do Spike Cave now? I guess he really wants to do Spike Cave now with that cape.
Arm, I don't like this. I mean, it's fine. He's just in full clear mode, but still, I don't like this. I think you were supposed to dab TR there.
I would think so.
Yeah, I know. Zaf says the same thing. Overworld and this mode's OP. But he's going to go back to Swamp before going to TR. I do not like this.
He really wants to know what's in that pot. Even though he has no interest in doing Hera Basement.
Well, no, this is the Argus Green Pendant play.
Oh, right, right. It's not just the pot. We can also go to the boss.
This is
so it's 3 items.
This is so risky. This is the race right here.
Does he like feel behind or something?
I don't know.
He just always this thorough.
I don't know. I would have honestly expected him to dive TR. I'm really confused myself. I mean, this is the game right here. If Jijo dives TR and finds it, he wins. If Arm finds it, he probably wins. Definitely something we're going to have to ask Arm about.
I assume J-Jo does Super Bunny and Hookshot Cave first, like Arm did.
The boss was pretty free for this.
Oh yeah, I forgot how close the boss was to the entrance. Mind you, we don't have a flute to easily get to Saha.
No, or Meyer, so we're not really worried about Ped.
I'm just saying, for turning in the green pendant, it's not exactly an easy thing to do.
So we have 1 item and 1 small key left in Swamp.
And there's J-Jo's hook shot.
He's going back in for the last item.
Of course he is.
And this is the game decision right here.
That answer, chat. The hookshot was in Hookshot Cave. Weird seeing Ice-T like this. Ice-T has the big key.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here watching because it's literally... This is literally what the game is between the what's going on the screens right now.
You're not at all nervous for what your teammate's doing.
I don't like what he's doing. I just have to pray that it pays out. He's already found Trinex. Trinex was fast. And linear.
But you're not gonna beat it without that fire rod.
This is actually on... Well, he fell down. I was going to say, I think that's on a super tile with mini Helmas.
Okay, so the last item has to be behind the hookshot and swamp. Oh, no, it's here. Okay. Oh,
That's game.
my.
That's game.
Okay.
I told you that's game-winning play.
How? I think that just broke me.
I mean, do I like what he did? Okay. Do I like his decision? No. Did it pay off? Yes. True. Allison's also right. He would have just been ahead to it. It's just a much faster he wins at this point.
Yeah, but with how early Trinex is, he's gonna spend like 2 minutes in TR.
It's very linear. I believe so, GFE. I believe it was objectively the wrong decision. I'm pretty sure he probably felt like he was way behind.
We'll ask him in the interview.
I think we should just rename him to Armaluck.
Yeah, I'm still processing what I've just seen.
Yes, bad dad joke, I know, but still. Like, that was horrendously lucky. He had to have felt behind. Looks like, yeah.
Yes, Armalex doesn't have to see Laser Bridge like this or anything.
He'll probably miss silvers, but that's fine. So
Maybe
that
the
matters a
silvers
lot
are in
to him right
GT.
now. Yeah, like he's just... See, here comes Trinex. So, like I said, the only thing I can think of is he had to fill behind. That's the only way the play made sense. In his brain, I'm guessing. Well, our community is all about fine picking, Mechalink. At the high end, it's all about nitpicking. But it's friendly nitpicking. Nobody really overdoes it. Yes.
Yes, all dungeon entrance and exit rooms are vanilla.
Yeah. So your TR entrances are all going. Your TR exits are all going to be in TR. Those rooms specifically, and the super tiles are on. Like TR Big will always be in TR. Laser Bridge will always be in TR in this mode.
And Jado's going for pod. I can't remember what he left in here.
The hookshot locked item.
Oh, that was in pod. I totally misremembered.
Mm-hmm. See how deep this GT is. Oh, we got A keys.
23 items, almost as many as the vanilla GT.
Arm? Well, I guess this doesn't have to be blocked. It's not. Okay.
Yeah, the challenge is putting down bomb in the right place. There we go.
This is just as many up doors as you can find. You just want to keep going up. And blue switch is always the best switch color state to leave the switch in until you know. So he should just be going up. Yep. And now we mirror. Try a different staircase. I love the GTs where you like, oh wow, okay. Well, left staircase is the only staircase. Fire rod was in swamp.
In pod vanilla big key chest, so kind of deep in swamp.
It was horridly locked in swamp. Yeah, this path kind of sucks, honestly. Having to come this way every time. Because now you know not only is the boss this way somewhere, but all 23 items and A keys are also this way.
Ooh, oh, here's my lobby. Oh, with a blinking red light. So Agatu joins here.
Yeah, he's one of the north doors. He's got to go flip the switch.
Right.
He's got to go through the north room, flip the switch, come back.
But then I believe he can reach all of those doors, so we'll be out of here very soon.
He's not key locked from the one, but he could be key locked from the other one. And again, blue is objectively the best state to leave your switch in. But when you mirror, it resets to red.
And he didn't know he was gonna find Meyer lobby there.
Nope. Why these dungeons can be so crazy. These last 4 dungeons are sometimes huge.
Well, I mean, this has 23 items, of which 10 are small keys.
Alright, is this Agatu? Nope. So it's the left one. Is it key locked? Nope. We're free. You probably check the chest.
Yeah, just silvers. In case. Yeah. It's right there. Nope. Arm doesn't want silvers, even if they're right there.
I mean, I think you check them because you probably feel ahead with the swamp play. It's a double.
Nice triple.
That means 1 hit. Alright. Now we just got to roast a Ganon. Roast some bacon. I do find his Zelda 1 demise is a little more satisfying. I wish he did something similar in this game.
You mean where he turns into a pile of ashes?
Mm-hmm. I mean, he is a jerk, so it's kind of satisfying. Ah, it's alright.
And there's the 1-1.
I think that's probably the bigger thing, GFE, is he being the end boss, he could have used a little bit better of a death than the rest. But again, we're talking 16-bit era, and that would have took more programming.
Silver's in Skull Woods, right? We never saw the back of Skull Woods.
Oh, so it's in either it's either under the bridge or in that very last check. Which who knows what that room, whatever that last check is. Oh, JoJo had a lot left in Swamp. Jeez.
And the Fire Rod's deep.
Yeah, the Fire Rod was the last item for Arm. I don't remember the route it took to get there.
Well, he beat the boss and then went back in fact.
Well, there's explosions.
GG's in. And Armalex finishes with an official race time of 1:41:30. That will bring Crystal Roller Crew to 7-4, and you look like you could use a Hookin lamp to 5-6.
And we are joined by Armalex. GG's.
GG's.
What the heck?
What do you mean?
You are lucky.
What? What part of it?
We are renaming you to Armaluxac.
What did I do? I followed the rules.
So the rules say go back and clear Swamp before TR?
Yeah. The rules do say that because there's actually like a lot. I did like 6. So let's rephrase this. I was going to play this mode at the start of the season. I did 8 seeds and completed one of them. I said I'm not going to play this mode, and then Zaf had to bail due to like some IRL stuff this week. So I did another 8 seeds, and I workshopped a ton of stuff about like how you should progress in the mode and how you should do everything and what went wrong in the first seeds. One of the rules is that you should never dive for your go mode item in a midst dungeon, especially if it is something that is potentially locked behind progression through the dungeon. So like if your go mode item is Hookshot or Samaria or Fire Rod, it is really bad to dive through, especially because you can find a small key that logically locks half of the dungeon on Trinex. Which means that you can't, like, you know, TR had, what, 15 items? I don't know what else was in the dungeon, but if you find torches, if you find compass room, like any of that stuff in that, like, there's a decent chance that half of the items in that dungeon, if not more, are just Fire Rod locked, and you just shouldn't touch it.
By the way, JoJo did just find the Fire Rod and forfeit.
Yep. So, yes. Anyways, I followed my rules, and yeah. Going back into Swamp for the 2 items, similar reason is why I didn't do them the first time, is because if the last small key's on Argus, I don't want to, like, find out that the stuff's small key locked there. But then going back, I think I had to go back then because if I go to Pod first, because the last, like, 3 checks in Pod, or 3 items in Pod are all Hookshot locked, right? I got that right. Like, you have to Hookshot over to the Pod, probably get a small key there, and then go through that small key door off of, off of like the right side pod chest to get to anything. If I do that and then go to swamp and then go back to turning green pendant, that sounds bad. So that was why I did those things in the exact order. And once you're at swamp, like every other check sucks, you got to do these. Yeah, GG's, JJo. Sorry to have you
JJo.
hop in the middle of the rant.
Oh, all right. GG's.
Yeah, GG's. It sounds like you cleared TR, and I have strong personal rules about this mode to not go into midst dungeons when I'm missing one of the things that's progression through them.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't going very well, even up until then. So I cleared out Castle Tower early, then I full cleared Desert, and I cleared out Pod a little bit before I actually got the hammer, I think.
Oh, before hammer.
No, you got hammer before pod.
Okay.
But Pod had that like weirdness where I'm pretty sure some large number of the checks and items were locked behind the hookshot to the swamp pot small.
Yeah, I got turned around in Pod a little bit. And then when I finally did go to swamp and got the mitts, I left. Full cleared ice, went up to TR, and then was hoping, basically a Hail Mary that hookshot was leading to the fire rod, so I went back to Pod and cleared the rest of it out.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then once he finished, that's when I got the fire rod.
Yeah, I had a very similar thing where I was very late to mitts because it's in your appended dungeon you don't have the hookshot for. I bailed when I had 2 items left in there, finished desert, then did ice, and at that point I think every other item in the game was either like a one-off I left in a dungeon, like that stupid Hera basement, or up on the mountain. And then with the hookshot and cape, I was just like, I'm going to do Spike Cave, and I'm going to do the hookshot lock checks I had left. And I started with Swamp because of Green Pendant turning.
Yeah, I wasn't too concerned about the Green Pendant, but I did Hype Cave and Bombos first in the Dark World once I got that hammer.
Yeah.
So,
Hammer
might have been after Pod.
Oh, you're saying you did Aga Tower for Dark World access to start.
Yes.
Okay.
No, he did it before he had Pearl.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I had the mirror, so I was hoping to maybe find something on the pyramid and then use the mirror to get Saha and then Eastern and then go into Pod, but
that checks out.
Yeah, Castle Tower, it's out of the way. People don't really think about going in there, but it does have a lot of items, but it was all trash today. And so was Eastern and Saha for that matter, so.
Yep. I left one or 2 items in desert. I don't remember. I did CT much later, like right before going to swamp. My route was basically like pyramid, CT, catfish. My like early mistake was I went to Eastern before doing South Shore and like just got dark roomed and then promptly found Dark World access into the lamp.
Okay. Yeah, the dark rooms were a little slow, but I did manage to get Armos at least my first time there. I think I died once or twice though. I died
in
the room after Dark Maze.
Yeah. I got out of the dark maze and then got poked by the guard because I was on half a heart and died. And then I just called it because I'm like, well, I've got the mirror, I'll be at Pod, and I have to go back in for the big chest anyways because it's all items, so whatever. And then, fortunately, it was nothing for me. And then, I don't know, I think there was like one, oh gosh. The frickin', I hate in the escape sequence, it made us do the stupid backwards statue pull room from CT, and that is the worst room in this mode. I don't know, like, it's so bad. Because it shows up so early, and, like, 30% of the time the guards are, like, all over the place and hide in the corner, and then the other 70% of the time you're on, like, 3 hearts trying to do that. It's so bad. Yeah.
Speaking of escape, coffee break. We never saw what was there. I guess nothing important.
No, it was like pretty hard last location, especially because you can get right back to it from the back of escape drop. Yeah. What's even missing?
I
I don't
had no
have.
intention of going back there really.
Yeah.
Silvers are in Skull, so they're one of the 2 items that are fire rod locked in Skull.
Yeah.
Flute.
Okay.
We never saw flute.
Never saw flute. Yeah. Though
kind of glad that I bailed on Skull Woods when I did.
Yeah. I got to the point where I like deterministically knew that the 2 items were fire rod locked, I think. You will enjoy so you GT this seed was 23 with A keys. You walk in, you go through like this exact path, and you are given basically a decision point of the like TR pipe room. You get spit out on the like full magic refill, so you can either go north to the like pseudo chomp store or through the tubes. So you follow north and you end up getting key locked, and then you follow the tubes and it takes you to Mire Lobby with a blinking red square. And the dungeon is just hard locked behind itself. You just never have to see anything besides Agatu.
Oh wow, how many rooms did you go through? Was it like 4 or 5?
Essentially, the middle stair and the right stair were linked, so you had to go left there.
Oh yeah, yeah. The middle stair and the right stair were linked. Sorry, I forgot about that piece. Yeah, it's just like if you follow the stairway, like you get locked out and mirror out. But I think I maybe was in there for like all of a minute and 2 minutes. I don't know. It was a really funny one. Like you walk in and you're like, this is gonna be disaster. And it's like, no, you're just done.
Yeah, that's what we always hope for. You know, with the the door shuffle, see that blinking red square. But there's a lot of twists and turns in this one, I think.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of were you in pod before Thieves?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I did find the attic, and I was able to get Thieves Town in one go.
I don't know how I feel about like either side of that decision. On like one hand, starting in Village of Outcasts is like Skull. It's always so many items, and like the thing that I've found in other seeds that I don't like is like you finish pod and you have 2 items left, and you know they're both small keys, and you have no idea if you're supposed to go back in to find the attic. But at the same time, like if you don't have mitts, getting back to Village of Outcasts is terrible. So I don't know.
It's the Light World was just bad in general. It's like there wasn't really anything over in Kakariko, so that's kind of why I leaned on that Master Sword to get into Castle Tower. But yeah, when I cleared Castle Tower, I was really hoping on that Saha and Eastern to bail me out a little bit. And when I finally did get the Moon Pearl, I still didn't have Hammer, and I still didn't have pretty much anything for any of those Dark World dungeons, so I stayed in the Light World until I got that Hammer, and still even then, it's like pod wasn't really that good because of the potential to just get locked out. So when I finally got the flippers up on Death Mountain and after Tower of Hera, I did Paradox Cave, and then I reasoned that the only real block I can get now would be Hookshot blocked, in case the swamp lobby shows up. And even then, sometimes you can just come out the other way. So it seemed like pod was at least had the potential to clear it out for some progression. But I think Mario was there, but not much else.
Yeah, I think we ended up doing the same thing with regards to like flippers being the thing that actually sent us into Dark World dungeons, because it felt like without like no fire rod for the back, no hook shot for the swamp lobby, no flippers, it felt like there's just too many ways to get locked out.
Yeah, I think in general I try to avoid dungeons just because of the nature of the mode. You can get lost in there and burn a lot of time, and I think I kind of did that today too.
Yeah,
but at the same times, like I just wasn't really finding that much help. So
yeah, the progression in this seed was really weird, especially like the hookshot and hookshot cave and like all sorts of stuff. Yeah, the ice ending up being like exactly the boss's hookshot locked or something nonsensical.
Yeah,
just I don't know. I've come around to liking this mode, but it's got some weird ones.
Yeah, outdoors just I also kind of would prefer that key sanity would be in, just to, you know, expand the pool of things that you need to find.
Fair.
Kind of
I'm
makes
kind
it a
of the
little more
opposite.
complex, interlinked. So
I like the beginner because there's like a lot of consistency you can sort of try to plan around. I don't know. I've heard a lot of people disagree with that, but I don't know. I have strong opinions on stuff like that, so I'm willing to be wrong on this.
well, I mean, I'm also, you know, pretty weird, but there is something to be said about once you get the items, you know you can go to a dungeon and clear it no matter what. So that reduces the complexity and the anxiety about going in somewhere, like to reduce double, even triple dips sometimes. So
Yeah, I guess I think the idea of like combining that with like entrance shuffle, where like you don't know what you're walking into and you don't know what you're going to get when like you walk into a dungeon and you're like, I could have any number of keys. Good luck to me. I guess there was some of that in I think in this seed there might have been some like if you use the small key on the correct door in pod, you might be able to like get a bunch more stuff in the end because you might find the big key because I never found that. But like I don't know, like it feels like the key sanity leads to a lot of weirdness in that front, but I don't know. I've come to like ADKDB, which is very similar in that aspect, so who knows. Have you liked the vanilla lobbies or not? I've kind of liked them, but I feel like I'm the only person who likes them.
I kind of like them. So it also kind of lets you know is like you do need certain items, like you still need the flippers and the mirror to get into Swamp. So if you shuffle the first room somewhere else, then you might need to clear out Swamp without the flippers, and that's kind of something that you're not really used to. So it's kind of a hard decision to make.
Yeah, I've kind of liked how they make some of the dungeons like actually have real texture to how you like pod having like 3 main entrances versus like who knows how many every time you walk in. I kind of like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. Anything the comm side wants to point out about nonsense that we forgot to mention that happened?
I think you guys covered stuff pretty thoroughly. I'm guessing, Arm, that your Desert Before Ice play was also part of the Avoid Mitts dungeons.
Yeah, I didn't want to go too deep into Desert, but it was also like it was partially that, and partially like there's 2 overworld checks there that I feel like I have to do, and once I'm in Agina, not doing any of Desert seems kind of nonsensical. I kind of like walked into Desert and I'm like, I'm putting myself on like a 2-minute timer, and after that, like when I end my route, I'm done. And I sort of did that, but I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, you got, I think, about 5 checks out of 9 in there.
Yeah, and I think most of the others were keys. I think I just checked my tracker. I have 1 item left.
Fair enough.
Did you kill Land Molas?
I did not. I didn't even find Landmo. I cut when I was like not or about to dig that way. And part of like I just didn't want to.
It was really strange. So Land Molas ended up having a small key, but you go in the Desert Main, and you have to go through a couple of rooms and a couple of dark rooms, and that actually spits you out at the Desert North entrance, and then you go into the Desert West entrance, and Land Molas was attached to that super tile right there.
I love that layout where you have to go from the back to the left side. Oh man, that's my favorite Desert layout of this mode.
So after I killed Land Molas, I just went right back into Desert to try to find the rest.
Oh yeah, you get to hop off the ledge and go right back in the front. Yeah.
But yeah, I think that will do it for us. No, I mean this is my first time calming a Doors seed, and I really appreciated you guys, picking apart your plays after the race, because I really didn't know much about strategy for it.
It's weird. I don't know how many people like. There's so much that's like strat, and then so much that's just like, I don't know. I'm going on vibes. I'm in the dungeon. Best of luck to me.
Yeah, I go by vibes. So I know a lot of people try to map everything with a tracker, and manually, obviously. But I don't even do that. I just kind of just. It feels like it was over here and this way. Maybe I'll go this way. Maybe I'll go. And sometimes it works. Sometimes I get lost. But still, it's a lot of fun. And I am actually glad that Doors is getting more attention too. So
yeah,
I'm glad that everyone is, trying to enjoy it, I guess.
Yeah, I think a full map is a lot to manage as you're going through the dungeon. The thing that I kind of want is like especially for a partition, is like a checklister of like left, right, up, down, like where, because like there's specific directions that chest entrances have, and I should like keep track of like, oh, I need to find, like the attic is obviously you want to go through a right facing door, but like the equivalent of that of like, what have I not found? Oh, I haven't found pod ruby basement with 2 items. I should be slamming into every spiral staircase I found.
But anyway, I think we should wrap here. GG's to both of you guys. Good luck to your teammates. What is it? Thursday at 10 is the other race between your teams?
Yeah, Thursday, 10 Eastern, IB Karma, and Ahab.
Should be a fun matchup. And of course, we have plenty of matchups between now and then. Do keep your eyes on the schedule. The next invitational race is 8 p.m. tomorrow night, Homemade Beer versus Flip Heel, but we have a ton of open races earlier in the day. And if you want to see any of those restreamed, sign up to Calmer Track, and we'll do our best to get it a restream channel. Also, thank you to Karma for calming with me. It was a lot of fun. I don't know if you're still here. I know he had to step out. And we will actually be getting you over to SpeedGaming 2, where Flip Heel and Andy are facing off in SMZ 3, so that should be a fun match. But GG's again to the runners. Thank you for joining us here, and we'll see you around.